It is ridiculous and it is against the laws of nature that we can have somebody sitting pretty who takes home more money than the credible entrepreneur who is doing actual production of goods and services.
We always say it as it is.
It is only in this country that when a thief is arrested, you hear elders from their tribe saying, he is our son and he is our thief.
If you are deviant
Yes.
and I call you leader, probably you are already a leader, but you are leading in the wrong direction.
We want to see the role of the youth
Yeah.
in the security,
Yes.
governance,
Yes.
and development.
The youth that I meet and work with here, you know, we call them the millennials and X's and Y's, this and that. They don't necessarily want to live like their fathers and grandfathers,
Yes.
do business like their fathers and grandfathers. They're more independent, they're better educated, and they're the ones that are making everything move in this region.
We look at the issues, we talk about issues that impact people's lives in Africa.
The African peoples themselves continue to cheer bad leaders, and because they cheer them on, they continue to be misled.
Let me ask you, doctor, would you rather be somebody who does not enjoy so much freedom but you are rich?
Yes.
Or you'd rather be poor who you are actually imprisoned by the poverty itself?
My goal is not to come here and say, I want the majority ownership, I want to own this, I want to own that, I want to do this. My goal is we all make money and we're all happy, and I help build a big business here.
Punchline is for Africa, with Africa, from Africa.
This is Editor's Memo, and I'll take us straight to the Political Command Center, where Dr. Matsanga shall be leading this show.
Thank you very much, Miriam. Good morning in Nairobi. Good morning in Isiolo. Good morning in Nanyuki. Good morning in the CBD, Nairobi. And a good morning in Meru. Douglas Kirimi, Musa Haji, Javani Karanja, Professor Gerard Onyari in the CBD of Nairobi. And a good morning, Miriam, in Nairobi, the general headquarters. This is Punchline Africa Television, the only television in Africa that talks, that minds about African issues, that discusses African issues, that what ails Africa, what kills us. President Uhuru Kenyatta yesterday was saying, what ails Kenya? When he was talking at the footsteps at the Harambee House with Raila Amolo Odinga. He said, our aim is to find out what has ailed Kenya. Why is it that every time we have a problem? This morning, the editor's memo is got from one of the most favorite subjects of Dr. Matsanga, and that is the NGOs. The NGOs, as you can know, and you know, and you see, as you can predict and forecast, whichever direction you go, you will find them there. It is very sad that people in Africa don't take it seriously when it comes to understanding and internalizing information. 5 years ago, I predicted that Africa will have no choice. Sub-Saharan Africa will be in turmoil. 3/4 of Sub-Saharan Africa is in turmoil. 3/4. Political turmoil, democratic turmoil, democratic dispensation. We are not talking about the civil war. Few are in civil strife. Central African Republic, the Sahel region, Nigeria is in turmoil. Nigeria is in turmoil, which will be one of our subjects when it comes to discussing. But the editor's memo today wanted to look at the Kenyan NGOs. How How have they behaved? Why do they behave like this? Who sponsors them? Where do they get the ability, the energy, the courage? That we see them on only political issues. What has happened to the issues of civil rights, of teaching people how to vote, of removing voter apathy? How many NGOs in Kenya go out to teach people how to wash hands? How many people in Kenya have received any training from NGOs for washing hands, for abiding by the road instructions of zebra crossing, road safety, fire safety, office safety? But if you go to the statute books of Kenya, if you go to the records of Kenya, you will find hundreds and hundreds of thousands of NGOs, Miriam, that have registered to teach health and safety regulations. Several people have registered, companies cooperating as those that have business, that earn money from it, and those that do voluntary work. But how many of them help the natives, the citizens of Kenya, to understand what exactly means, what it means to be an NGO? And a government organization is supposed to help. I believe my brother, Professor Nyari, will agree with me that peace NGOs are doing something which I see certificates are being issued out, except that I am waiting for mine, which is supposed to be anywhere, coming anytime. I have not seen any active NGO teaching people home care. Home care. Today we have a pandemic. The NGOs are not busy telling us how to avoid this pandemic. To complement the government work, to complement the Ministry of Health, we should have NGO social workers going around to see how children are suffering in schools, how children are sitting on the desks. Believe me or not, Miriam, the African NGO that we have now is the wrong NGO of a donor money. The NGO that wants money in dollars, that wants money paid to them, surrendered to them, and they bank up and they build houses in Runda, Kileleshwa, Lavington, Karen. I don't sleep in those places. When I'm in Nairobi, I sleep in very normal Karl Marx style of sleeping. But most of the big houses that you see are NGOs and the money. I'm bringing this program so that the international community, the British government especially watching me, that they should fast track and follow the money that we pay taxes, that the money lands in the hands of some greedy NGOs in Africa. Have we turned our NGO? I'm bringing a challenge now. Show me one Kenyan NGO that has even protested about Somalia saying the boundary reaches somewhere. Zero. But he said there is an election in Matungu. There was an election between Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta. How many NGOs did we see? Ho Katiba Moja, ho Huduma Yetu, ho Kura kwa nini? There was something called Kura kwa kura. These type of things are there. Miriam, you can pronounce them better. For me, I'm very annoyed with some of them that I don't want to pronounce their NGOs. Ho haki ya kura, ho siju. They all come out. The Githongos come out. The David Indies come out when Africa needs them in a different format. They only come out on a political day. Is it that a wrong concept was put to the African NGOs? As we speak today, Miriam, Africa is faced with a very tough decision. Our region of East Africa is now under siege, and the rest of Africa or sub-Saharan Africa. As you are aware, the subject that you will introduce later on to other people, because I said I don't want to speak about it, they will tell me that I'm against. I've left it to flow the way it flows. In Uganda, there is now a sign of civil disobedience. A people's type of civil disobedience that Miriam will talk about under Kirimi. I am not a party to it. I am part of it. I am a peacemaker. I don't create conflicts, whether civil disobedience or armed conflicts. No, not anymore. So I am not party to such of conflicts that occur now. But I want to bring in the NGO syndrome. Look at all the countries in Africa, especially in Kenya. When do they come? When do they wake up? When there is an election. When there is a referendum. Had you ever, apart from David Ndii, doing one historical job of wanting to divide Kenya into two parts, show me David Ndii's books that teach students how to be a very good economist. Do you have one book there, Mr. Karanja?
No.
Have you seen a book on the shelves
None.
of Dr.
None.
David Ndii? Do you have?
01. None.
He was given a scholarship by the Ford Foundation. He went to Cambridge, Oxford. He studied there, free. You know, people who study free money, free everything. Not us and Miriam and other people who pay our school fees to enhance our education. We pay through hardship. I paid my school fees. I paid while I was cleaning my several trains in London in order to go and study to earn what I have earned. But people are lucky like David Ndii, who was given a scholarship for free and arrived, but he has not produced any booklet except to produce Uhuru. Every morning, Uhuru Kenyatta. He talks about Uhuru throughout. The biggest problem that these NGOs pose to Africa, to helpless people of Europe, and this is something I'm exploiting with the British system. Why do they give money and they don't follow up to see where the money has gone? And what is the money being used for? Why is it that the money is thrown during the elections? These are the questions that we must ask. There's a referendum looming in Kenya, and the huge amounts of money are now being channeled. Banks are rotating with huge amounts of dollars being channeled through one country in the southern part of Africa to be able to arrive in Kenya or to be able to arrive in Uganda or Tanzania. They are doing it. Miriam, believe me or not, if you look at 2006, 2007, 2008, and you are here witness Onyari, Professor Onyari, you are here. All of you were born by then. And you were able to run if there was running anyway. This is exactly what the NGOs did. They started that way. I'm telling you, they started that way. After the referendum of 2005, NGOs took sides. Am I wrong?
Yes.
They took sides. We had bloodshed in 2007, 2008. NGOs took sides. Today, you see NGOs also now taking sides. This crumble that you see, that is fitted in the handshake, all these things that you see moving. Did you listen to Orengo last night? All of you, did you listen to Orengo on NTV being interviewed from Mombasa? What did he say? He said he needs the civil society to be involved. So was I wrong in the morning? 2 days ago when I told you that Orengo is half of Orengo is civil society, and half of Orengo is a sufferer, a politician who suffered, who brought the freedom that we enjoy today. So he's caught up in catch-22. He can't swim across river Nyando. He can only stay on the other side or swim or drown. He has no alternative. So if you look at all those things, I want to take this opportunity to tell you, NGOs, Linda Katiba is an institution that is to cause chaos to you people. Linda Katiba is an institution funded, equipped, logistically. I will bring details of how much Kegoro is involved in Linda, who is a relative of Mr. Professor Onyari. They come from the same village, and I don't know why people from the Nyamira tend to be different from the rest of the world, but Professor will answer that later on. It is very interesting that you have a Chief Justice from Nyamira who behaves very badly, differently from all Chief Justices in the world. Then now you have another NGO man called Kegoro who behaves differently. You know, then you have a good Professor Onyari who understands the politics of the local Wananchi. I don't know. God is very great man. He separates us from evil and puts us where we have good people. Thank you very much for giving us good people like Professor from Nyamira and the Deputy, the Minister of Interior, who is also very good, straightforward. He tells you he doesn't like you, he doesn't like you. That is the type of people we like. But you cannot have a Chief Justice, a former Chief Justice, the head of George Soros' organization in Kenya, the man who worked out George Soros' payments to actually remove our election victory in 2017. I told you I've forgiven, but I've forgotten, but I've forgiven, but not forgotten. The victory was robbed by a woman asking one question: where did you put the papers? That's all. Spoiled papers cannot spoil an election in Africa, in the Commonwealth. Which Commonwealth country has nullified an election because of spoiled papers? Onyari and the rest of you, can you tell me? Which one? Which country has nullified an election because they did not count spoiled papers? In the Commonwealth. Where? Where do you find that? But we lost that. We went back. Kenya lost money. Fine. But today the NGOs, the same. Look at the standing. During the ICC, this is my final stand. During the ICC, the same NGOs arranged to sell witnesses to International Criminal Court. And today, the editor's memo points out very clearly, and it points out the government must put its tentacles outside and watch these guys. The amount of money that has been released from New York, if it arrives this continent, if it arrives this nation, Kenya, if it is in the hands of the people that we see who don't like Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, we shall have a problem. I submit therefore to the panel that that's the editor's memo. You can make your few remarks. Miriam will guide us in these remarks. We have 15 minutes so that Miriam can go and arrange another show. 15 minutes, let's divide it to ourselves and finish it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Professor. Do you have something to add to that?
Yes, Miriam, and thank you, Daktari, for giving this thought-provoking elders memo. It has never come into my mind that where haven't we seen the NGOs going to court or going to do something for the side which they purport? But we have seen them trying to oppose things which are good. Imagine Dr. Masanga. See where Kenya was in 2017, 2018, before the handshake. This country was heading towards becoming a failed state. This country was headed into having a regularly sworn president, another one, not a properly sworn, but they are president. They said the title of president, where the other one is not fake and not genuine. And again, you could not see the civil society coming forward. We are having BBI. When you take that document, Miriam, we are all human beings. We cannot make a document because if we purport to do so, which is 100%, then we become God. But we can make a document which is 50%, which is 60%, which is 70%, which is 80%. And that is a pass, Miriam. So when you hear Dr. Masanga, and Dr. Masanga, how I wish that the people of this country and the people of Africa take you serious. There's nothing which you have said and which has never come to pass. When you say that Orengo is not in BBI, you meant it. He spoke by himself.
Yes, sir.
So what we need to do, Dr. Masanga and Punchline Africa, Miriam and my fellow panelists, that we have got work to do. And we have to do it. We have to speak the truth, no matter what it takes. Because if we speak the truth, telling our NGOs, Miriam, yes, get the money from outside there for the people of Kenya. Even with the money you get from another NGO which they get it on behalf of the people of Kenya. Come and try to change Kenya and Africa. Dr. Masanga, for that thought-provoking elders memo, I say God bless you. Thank you. I submit, Miriam.
Okay, thank you so much. Douglas.
Thank you, Miriam. It is very shocking. I've never realized, and thank you to Dr. Masanga, that I have never seen these NGOs go to court that the governors are corrupt and they are not building schools for school-going children in our rural places. I have never seen these governors when the inclusivity that was brought by Handshake brought development to historically marginalized places. I've never seen a press conference of David Day, George Kegoro, Gradwell Otieno, and Jerotich Sei. I've never seen a press conference of these people condemning historical marginalization of these people. I've never seen a press conference in Nairobi, these people talking about brick and mortar development across the country. I've never seen them agitate for the rights of children to go to school. I have never seen when the government of the Republic of Kenya is admonishing parents for not taking their children to school, the 100% school takeout for children. I've never seen them say that they support the government in taking our children to school. I will only see them during elections when there are constitutional moments when we want to change the constitution. What is their interest that I have to see them talking about voter protection, talking about voter civic education, that I don't see them in my village? I only hear them from posh hotels in Nairobi. It is a shame for these NGOs to crop up when issues of national importance are supposed to be discussed. They crop up and continue eating that money from NGOs. But when things that take our country forward, when issues that have to bring our country to a path of development, these people have to stifle it and stop it. So Miriam, I want to marry my thoughts with those of Dr. Masanga and also agree that the shame that they have brought on themselves will continue hanging on their necks like an albatross. Thank you, Miriam.
Thank you so much. Javan Karanja.
Okay, thank you, Miriam, and I agree, and I thank Dr. David Masanga for the good observation and insights. One thing, Miriam, we have never, and I agree, and this is eye-opening, we have never seen the so-called NGOs and the civil societies coming in societies to improve the livelihoods of people, creating awareness around FGM, around other cultures that are not good, around things that affect us as a community. They have not come out to raise against the corruption, the increasing corruption rates in the country. They only pop up when we have elections, when we have referendum, and when we have things that can divide this country. Miriam, we know if there are things that can divide the nation easily, is elections and referendums, because that is where Kenyans are used to divide around tribes and class struggles and so on. That is when they come. And we have seen them trying, now they have a leader Katiba. And one common denominator with the people in this leader Katiba movement, they're all bitter with President Uhuru Kenyatta, and Boniface Mwangi, David D., Mother Karua. Therefore, these people are not there to agitate for the rights of Kenyans who maybe oppose BBI, but they are there to cause chaos, they are there to cause divisions, they are there to continue with their hate towards President Uhuru Kenyatta and his government, because to them they think this is a government that is not supposed to be in the first place. Therefore, these NGOs, Miriam, they are there to cause a regime change, they are there to cause a regime change so that they can benefit with the chaos and divisions. And we saw in 2007, Boniface Mwangi was in front line of getting pictures of victims, of people who are dead bodies around the country, and selling them to these, taking them to these NGOs. And that is how he came to relevance. Therefore, when you look at these people, Miriam, they are not there for the interest of Kenyans, but they are there for their own stomach and to ensure that they have something in their pocket. Because if it's about NGOs, Miriam, look at NGOs like Red Cross, AMREF, what they do, they come in terms of disaster, they bring food and they ensure that lives are saved. But these NGOs by leader Katiba, they are just there in Nairobi to eat money. Therefore, they don't reflect the needs of society and they don't speak for the society, they speak for themselves, and their main goal is to ensure that this country is divided and we go into chaos. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Musa. All right, very well. Thank you so much. Doctor, do you have anything else you'd like to add to that? Then we conclude the show.
Yes, Musa seemed to have left. So we have strictly about 4 minutes or 5, I don't know, or 6 minutes. Frankly speaking, I would like to see a better Kenya. Frankly speaking, I would like to see an amendment. As an East African, I would like to see an amendment that will bring peace such that everything flows in East Africa. But the evil society of Kenya seeks to capture the state power, to capture state. They capture the state. They want to take over. If you look across the whole of Africa, sub-Saharan Africa, right from Zimbabwe, the mother of all NGOs is in Southern Africa. Countries like Botswana, they grew on NGO money, despite the fact that they have diamonds. But everybody in Botswana you find on a plane is going on a scholarship or is going to do some NGO in Europe. And you know, Botswana produces the highest quantities of diamonds in Africa. South Africa, for example, it is the mother of all NGOs. South Africa has got 1,996 NGOs. George Soros' Open Society Foundation is well gazetted in Southern Africa. It has an office. The government itself in South Africa has allowed South African Litigation Center, to be part and funded by George Soros. Now, all the money, that $476 million that were sent out, that's why you see the shivers There are shivers here. There are shivers. Do we now collapse this and go this way? This is better money. There are some people thinking that they need to have that money. But they are not thinking of their countries. I will not be a party to a country, Miriam. Any person who says, who is calling the person who is calling a Mafikizolo outside Africa to come and help him. I am not. And take me for that. I will not call any person and any NGO to come and dismember my state. Look at all leaders. Look at opposition leaders we have. We are relying more, let's get the European Union to sanction us. To sanction you over what? The democracy in Europe has taken over 800 years. How old is your democracy in Africa? How old is the democracy in Africa, the panel? 66 years. So when Ghana got independence, do you have anything else to offer? The first country to get independence has only taken 66 years. Out of that, the army took about 30 years in power. From General Achampong in Nigeria next door, from General Aronsi. In Uganda, in East Africa, from General Field Marshal Idi Amin. In Congo, we had General Kano Mobutu Sese Seko. Zembe was Abanga arriving on the scene, taking power. In Central Africa, we have Jean Bokassa, Emperor. He's a general. He took over. Across in the north in Sudan, we have General Nimeri. Across east, we had General Siadibare. Across north, we had Hosni Mubarak, who took over from Gabriel Nansa. I can name you: Cabral, east, west, south. In Tanzania, we had only a government that survived under Kenya. There are two countries in this region that have had relative peace. In Chad, we have Hussein Habre. We had Hussein Habre, who overthrew a government in N'Djamena. In Libya, we had Muammar Gaddafi. Mauritania changed several times, with generals coming up flashing. What democracy has Africa got to be equated to the democracy that we have in Europe? It's impossible for the NGOs in Africa to start working as if they are working for the people of Africa. Let's be very honest. African NGOs of David Ndi, Radio Otieno, and the company, and those who are agitating to the Mabsakaruas. If you look at the ICC, the post-election violence in Kenya, some of the people mentioned here, David Ndi was working with the former Chief Justice Mutunga as the PA to doctor documents to fix Uhuru Kenyatta. I swear in the name of God. And I'm swearing before the national television. David Ndi was a personal assistant of Mutunga. Mutunga cannot write English language. It is David Ndi. Now I'm telling you something that you should know. Yes, all those things were written by David Ndi. I have the ink data that will show you the people who were fixed in the judiciary, who were writing to fix Uhuru Kenyatta to go to jail. And for me, as long as I'm alive, the fight goes on with these guys. President Uhuru Kenyatta might have forgiven them. Ruto might be giving them money to marry more women like Hassan Omar in Mombasa. Yeah, let Ruto give Hassan Omar more money to marry women in Mombasa. But if I did not stand up, he would not be nowhere here today. If I did not sell my car to go and get a ticket in order to go and make noise, in order to drink coffee around the Hague and make noise. He will not be walking and giving Umar. Hassan Omar. How do you give Hassan Omar more money to marry more women in Mombasa when you have not even said thank you to Masanga, who helped you? Surely. So look at the NGOs, look at them. Look at the way they behave. Hassan Omar wrote 2 reports. 2 reports implicating, one is a fake report. I went to the court and filed an application. It is not a hearsay. Go to the ICC database. You will find 21 applications of Dr. David Masanga versus the chief prosecutor, the only man in Sub-Saharan Africa who challenged the ICC. If you have another one, show me one. Show me one. Am I not here today? Am I not here today? I was right, and I will be right. And I'm telling you, money has come. Those who want to watch, who want to take these notes, take them. If you are not careful, George Soros will topple you. Those who have ears, take them. There's money on the continent of Africa that has come. It has been put there to remove government. And that is going to be very bad. I'm a peacemaker. I'm not a troublemaker. I don't want trouble. Therefore, where I see someone causing trouble, I report. And I've reported. And if you say there was no money that was transacted from George Soros Open Society Foundation in New York, transferred to African country, you begin your journey now with me. Let's begin. I want to take this opportunity to thank you, Miriam. Thank you very much. Remember, there is no NGO in Africa that teaches you how to drink good water. But they are there on paper. When you go to Britain and see how much Britain releases money for an African NGO that teaches people how to handle forks. These forks on the table, when you go out for dinner with your family, and they are there in paper, on paper. To drink good water, they are on paper. But yet they don't even come to tell us how to dig a well. That is the position of African NGO. The editor's memo ends there. God bless you. I am available at your telephone call. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Miriam.
We'll see you at the time.
Peace must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.